Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. This is episode 18. I'm Christina Suzama, your host of this program. Today's show is The Essence of a Baby's Voice. How beautiful is that? I'd like to welcome Anatara.
Hi, Christina. Nice to
Hello,
be here.
Anatara. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I love the baby's voice.
Indeed. I was, in the last episode, I was talking about a very traumatic injury to my son and what that has in essence given me in terms of learning about how much energy there is available in the universe for us as individuals to feel and accept and channel to for creation, for healing, for just for living. And during the time of my son being injured and in the intensive care unit, his little boy, who at that point was just 2.5 months old, was with us. He was with us in the waiting rooms. He was with us sometimes at my son's bedside, and he always offered the most simple explanation of the moment that we could find anywhere. And I realized that it doesn't just apply to babies, it applies to all of us, but I was seeing it through his little tiny voice. His voice being not just the sounds that he makes, or the cries that he makes, but his voice being his existence, his very beingness, wherever he is. And it's this simplicity that I was recognizing and have recognized, that we, as sometimes as more mature children and as adults, just bypass altogether. We miss it. We don't live it. We don't express it. We aren't simplicity anymore. And it struck me that the essence of a baby's voice is about being uncomplicated. It's about being unsullied. It's about being untrained. The baby is not trying to put its little voice into any kind of specific package. It's not working at or trying to give us a definition of anything. When the baby is hungry, he gives us a little cry, and he says, "I'm hungry."
Or a big cry.
Yeah. Where's the food? when the baby's uncomfortable or being pricked or poked, it'll squirm away from it. It'll also cry and say, "This isn't right." And when that baby is at peace, when the baby is sleeping, or just watching the world go by, there is a calm and an essence of simplicity that is unsurpassed. A baby at ease is just about as at ease as a human being can get. We can mirror it sometimes in meditation and in recreating that kind of serenity for ourselves. But the essence of a baby's voice can show us that serenity without any question and without any manipulation. So since my son's accident, I have been spending even more time with he and his family now that he's at home. And the baby is always there. The baby is the focal point for much of the communication that the rest of us as adults have, and is also the focal point of the easiness of being in the moment. A baby's voice is about truth. A baby's voice is about not working at trying to be something other than what's going on in that very moment. And when you listen to a delighted coo, a smile or a giggle or a laugh coming out of this little person's face, when you look at what their body language is is when they're hungry or when they're tired or when they're happy. You see how simple it could be for us as well to express ourselves as the essence of the moment rather than a projection of what that moment should be or could be. So I've also seen that and really understand that when a baby is upset, the baby isn't upset at us. The baby isn't trying to say, you're bad, you're horrible, you're not good enough, you're not meeting my needs. It is simply trying to express whatever that need is. So it's uncomplicated. It's unprojected. It's real in the here and now. And I've observed that, for my son who's doing some dramatic healing right now and can't move around physically as he did before, when he looks at the beauty and the serenity and the cuteness of his son, he takes it's like him taking a deep breath on his own and being able to sit back and be as simple and as easy and as at ease as his infant son is. And so what does that say to us about our voices? And what does it say to us about how we can um, change or modify some of our own perception of what we need to be projecting or doing? What it says is that it could be just as easy for us. It could be just as accommodating in our lives to be the moment without projection, as it is to believe that we have to be something, that we have to look in a certain way, project in a certain way, think in a certain way, act in a certain way. If we gave up acting, if we gave up projecting, maybe our anger would just be anger in the moment. Maybe it would come up and it would vanish as it does for the baby. Maybe when we're grumpy, we would express it and then find another way to work with that sensation and that essence. Maybe we would just find somebody to give us a hug rather than yelling at someone because we're not feeling well integrated in the moment. So if the essence of a baby's voice is truth, what's your truth? What do you really need to be saying? What do you really need to be doing right here and right now? Try it. Don't second guess it. Just try it. And if you don't or haven't spent much time around small people, these small little, newly becoming human beings, the ones who are trying to learn from us about how to communicate, well, don't try to learn it from us. Let them teach you. Watch what they do. And you can extend that to young children too, because they have a freedom of expression that is essential. It is so real. Mm-hmm. Why are we trying to shut them down or direct them or teach them how to communicate? Is there a right way or a wrong way? Maybe sometimes, maybe within certain protocols, but not in just living and not in just being. Watch, observe, try it on for yourself. And when you feel like saying something, stop for a moment and ask yourself, is this really what I feel? Is what I'm about to say or express really what's going on for me or not? Take a moment to address yourself and see whether you are being as real and as truthful as you were when you were a baby crying because you were hungry. Or you were a baby smiling because something made you feel really joyful. Just see what happens when you ask yourself. See what happens when you take that into your life. And you're not going to do it every minute, but every time that you do, something will change around you that reflects how beautiful truth really can be. Yeah.
Lovely, Anatara. Well, I completely agree with you on that level. I always call the little babies our Zen masters. They bring us back to our core. Mm-hmm. Really showing us the way to be totally authentic. Where did it go? How we lose that all along the way as we get older. And they are so completely connected and authentic in the moment.
That word authentic is exactly it. No pretense, no pretending, no attempting to be something other than what is going on in the authenticity of the moment. I was using the word truth. Truth and authenticity are really the same thing. And if we can be that without trying to be that, whew, that makes life so easy. When we can just be authentic because we know it's safe, because we know we can, because we know it will be welcomed by all of those other people who are also being authentic.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. How beautiful. How beautiful. Well, I do miss the cooing, and I try to tap into it as often as I can outside of my being. Because it is just so wonderful and so lovely, and and how wonderful that you have the assistance of this little one during this time.
It's been essential and very overwhelmingly beautiful.
Yes, yes, and how beautiful that at the place that your son is at right now, that he has this time to spend with his child.
Oh, it's a profound offering from the universe. It's just incredible.
An amazing gift, isn't it?
It is. So I watch him watch his son, and I watch him center with it, and I watch his heart still, and I watch his mind still, and I watch them. I watch the communication that is being at one with another being happen. It's so easy at that level.
Wonderful. Oh, what a beautiful unfolding. Just fantastic. And thank you so much, Anatara, for this moment of this baby's voice. Oh. We can all just coo for the rest of the day.
We can, and not feel silly about it.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much. Really, what wonderful blessings you've shared with us again today.
Oh, thank you, Christina.
And of course, we'd like to thank Segovia and the Yoga Hub team for making this possible. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're grateful for your continuous support and look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. We invite you to join us live on Tuesdays for Magical Medical Tour at 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 Eastern. Wednesdays for Trinity of Life at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, followed every other week with Flowing into Awareness with Anatara. I'd like to remind you that you can always connect with Anatara by following her on Twitter at Anatara, and of course through her own site at anatara.ca. We look forward to hearing from you. Any feedback or comments, we encourage you to call us at 818-LETS-TALK. 818-LETS-TALK. Until next time, namaste. YHTV's Trinity of Life. Come join me, Christina Suzama, as I journey to find the many modalities that support individuals, from children to adults to elders, with topics ranging from health and wellness, meditation, and inspirational stories. I invite you to visit yogahub.tv every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Where do I need to be the most cautious about genetically modified foods? And I think there are two examples that if folks can follow this, they will go a long, long way of making sure that they don't have GMOs in their diet. Corn and soy are the two most prevalent genetically modified foods in our common food